Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever you choose it to be. Welcome to the Empowered Possibilities Podcast. We are your host, Chakra Wanda, International Angelic Spiritual Encourager, and
Jamar Kelly, the Empowerment Coach.
And we are here to empower you to shift into your highest possibilities in every area of your life.
That gets better and better each episode.
Yeah, it does.
But this is the first time we're saying it in person.
And we're together.
Everybody, I am here in Charlotte, North Carolina at my good girl, my A friend's house, Chakra Wanda.
North Kakalaki.
Let me tell you, I've had such an amazing time. I met so many great people, and I see here in Charlotte, North Carolina, I have a lot of love and support. I mean, I went to Chakra Wanda's shop, and everybody was like, "Oh, I know him." I was like,
yeah.
"I'm so famous."
Yeah, God Isis, a couple of my clients. They's like, "Oh, like two people, right?"
Yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, it was just nice to see like each client, and I only met two of Chakra's clients. I only been there twice, and both of them knew who I was. So Chakra is kind of boosting me up here in Charlotte. So this is going to be an interesting episode because we have our first official special guest.
Yes,
and she's also here from Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, the goddess. Goddess.
I'm sorry, I had to steal my tablet from my child. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Recording and you stealing from your child.
Yes, because he stole it from me, so I'm not really stealing. I'm just taking it back. What's mine?
So I just introduced you. Tell the people about yourself.
Well, hello, everyone. I am psychic medium Goddess Isis. I am a psychic medium, a Reiki master teacher, an intuitive coach, and a mental motivator.
Mental motivator. That sounds cute. I like that.
You know me and Wanda got them phrases, right?
Yeah, today's Chakra started calling me the empowerment intuitive. I like
yes.
An empowerment intuitive. It feels good. Because that's what I'm all about. So, Goddess, today we are talking about, everybody, not just the Goddess Isis, everybody. Today we're talking about authentically living your dash.
And I want to show, I just pulled up your picture from your Facebook page, guys. This is the beautiful God Isis that you hear on the podcast.
Thank you.
She just pulled up a picture for all the people watching us on Periscope.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're more tech savvy than I am, so thank you.
So we are talking about the topic, authentically living your dash, in celebration of my good girl, my A friend, Chakra Wanda's birthday.
Yes, yes.
She just had a birthday. You want to tell the people about your birthday?
Yes. My birthday was Saturday. Yesterday, wasn't it? Oh,
one of these days. I can't remember.
And I actually created an event on my on Facebook, an event. I created an all-day, what did I call it?
Online birthday party.
Yeah, it was an online birthday party. And the requirement for attending the birthday party was that people had to log in on the event page, and in comments, they had to put a link, like from YouTube, of some songs from the 70s and 80s. I'm telling you.
It was popping.
But the party was popping.
Somebody brought food.
Yeah. God,
somebody brought men.
Yeah. Somebody bought food, bought men. I had one friend who was it was good music. And then I danced all day. What do you mean? Yep, I logged in. Yeah, it was cool. Let me tell you, I'm going to let you know that I started the trend of the online birthday party. So, Goddess, you ever heard of that before?
No, ma'am. Look, I'm wishing I could back up last week to my birthday and do it.
I know. So here's my online birthday party event, right? Yep, go ahead, True Beauty. I'm telling you, Natasha, it was fun because actually, you know how you try to set up a physical birthday party, which I'm going to have one when I turn 60. But this way, people from all over, who's it, Leo Line? I wish I would have known I would have had some great things. Oh, you can still go to it now. You can still go to it,
The party ain't stopping.
Right. It's on my healer page, Chakra Wanda Angelic healer page. I have a link there that'll open you up to it, okay? And if you want to go in there and see, it's fun. Look, I'm going to open up. This is the page. And, oh, gosh. That's me. I closed the day out with a calm, fruity beverage. But then I talked about getting ready to go out to go dancing later on in the evening. And then I was dancing all through the day. You see me moving there. People sent me balloons. I'm dancing in the salon. Look.
She had a good time.
It's
the whole day.
Chakra Wanda Angelic Healer on Facebook. And then there's a link to my all day. Girl, somebody out on some Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yep. Somebody sent Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was dancing in the car on the way to work. Look. You see me moving there? I ain't moving yet there. Put it on. Okay, hold on.
Chakra.
No, wait a minute now. So fine. Thanks to me, So anyway, she was correcting her typo. She said, "Don't get started because we only on here but for an hour." Well, it's going to be a little longer now. But anyway, that was my birthday. Jamad, he was there when the clock turned for my birthday to start. So I have one in here of him and I.
Y'all can watch it all on Periscope.
Yeah, it's on Periscope. I didn't mean to play it. Okay. You can see us on there. This is us here. I was jamming. So you can see the replay on that. But anyway, it was wonderful. Hey, Paula. If anyone would like to dial in to the podcast, because we're doing a Periscope broadcast and podcast. And the topic tonight is living your dash. And if you'd like to dial in, hi, Paula. If you want to come into the podcast, here's the number. Or you can come into the podcast by, what's this link, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Bit.ly. Let me see, T-E-E-P.
T-E-P-P.
What is it? Okay.
Chakra, we are live on the podcast.
Okay. bit.ly TEPP Sunday. And you can come in. Either way, the phone number of that. Okay. Anyway, you think she asked me how much my birthday?
We can't be talking to them.
Okay, we can do whatever you want to do. All right. Let's go.
So today's episode, for everybody listening out in media land across the nation.
Coach Chanel.
Hey, Coach Chanel.
I'm going to talk to them too. It's rude not to talk to them, but go ahead. We're going to get rolling.
Chakra. So, and we have to talk to the podcast.
That's true.
Because this is going to make the listening odd when they're like, who the hell is she talking to? Okay, so today's topic is in the event of Chakra Wanda's birthday, we wanted to do a show about authentically living your dash, which is really awesome. So to explain what the dash is, Chakra Wanda always talks about, and it's very, very kind of really deep. Did you come up with this?
Yeah.
Okay, because Chakra Wanda comes up with everything. So Chakra Wanda came up with pretty much this.
You want to say?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what I want to call it, though. This life principle, so to speak, of you have a birth date, you have an end date, and you have the dash in the middle. How are you living your dash?
Exactly. Yeah, all of us, pretty much, we have all of that. Every single person coming to this earthly plane has that in common, period. Entry date, birth date, exit date, right? Stage left. And then there's the dash. But if you look on the traditional tombstones, even everybody that's here has this plaque, whether you're buried, whether you are cremated, whatever, there's this statement about you. As a matter of fact, as I'm talking about that, isn't that something? That there's these 3 actual characters that represent you. The birth date, the end date, and the dash. Then the dash, when it's laid out, and I'm going to put mine down here because I don't have an end date yet, but I'm going to have one. Look at that. And so what are we doing with that?
And that's where they get what they're going to say about you. That dash is what they're going to write on your tombstone.
Exactly. So on here on Periscope, Coach Chanel says you have a birth date and an end date, but then there's the dash. How are you living your dash?
How are you living your dash?
Absolutely. Think about it, right?
I know how I want to twist this around. Mm-hmm. So Chakra Wanda also has a poem that goes, if this was my last day.
Oh my God.
When we're talking about authentically, I'm your biggest fan. When we talk about authentically living your dash, if this was your last day, I can't remember what happens after that.
I'll bring it up.
Okay.
But get the feeling from when you heard that.
So it was all about, if this was your last day, how would you spend it? Who would you want to spend your time with? How would you want to feel? Like, would you want to live your last day upset, or would you want to live your last day rocking it out like Chakra did for her birthday? And she rocked it out all day long.
Right. You posted a song on the page. Oh, you did? Oh, thank you for my birthday. See, it's still going on. I'm celebrating till the end of the month, which is what, tomorrow, maybe? But what he is referring to is a poem that I wrote back in 2011, right? It's Mellow Yellow. And it goes like this. If this were my last day, what would I say? What would I do? And how would I pray? I would say that I love you. I would make that last call. I would embrace all the memories of having known you at all. I would say you have helped me to heal from my soul, that you captured my heart, helped my fears to unfold. If this were my last day, what would I say? What would I do? And how would I pray? I would tell you the truth, some things you've not heard, left with no unanswered questions. My actions speak louder than words. Now this for me, when I wrote that, was a poetic, I call my poems poetic healing from the heart as it relates to relationship. But as I was reading this, you can apply this to anything in the universe, pretty much. And sometimes I think that question about if this were my last day to shake me and shift me out of any kind of thought or feeling that is not a vibration that expands me into my day or feeling or idea. Like, for example, if this were my last day, or I'm not so much always say that, I'm like, what I'm thinking right now, is this the last thing I want to be thinking about? Before
giving energy to?
Yeah, the giving energy to.
You could chime in also, Goddess Isis. We know you're here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Special guest.
What kind of energy does that bring to you when you think of living your dash? If this were your last day, whatever you feel, whatever you want to share with us.
It resonates to me as, am I living my purpose? Am I living my divine purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we're all here for a specific reason. We all have a purpose.
You want to go deeper in that for the listeners?
Yeah, we need to, find it. You said in the beginning, living our authentic self. So finding your authentic self you will find your divine purpose. What are you here for? A lot of people are unhappy. They're not moving on their journey, on their path, because they are not living their purpose. And true happiness is about living your purpose.
That's true. That's why a lot of people aren't happy, because they're not living their purpose. But I feel like a lot of people aren't allowing themselves to find their purpose either. They're so caught up in everything else.
Right. And they're caught up in, what society says they should be doing or who they should be. And that's why you can't tap in and really find your authentic self, because you're trying to be somebody else. And you can only be who you can be. That's who you are.
People will run from purpose.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe in that. Well, I do believe people do that.
And you won't have a fulfilled life until you're happy.
And it's the journey that, wow, right there, that's a big discussion in itself, is when do you become aware of that's what's you're being driven by? Yeah, that there's this drive within you. I think that's different for everybody. I believe that we do see children who just from looking at them and feeling them, that they already know what their purpose is.
And if we tap into that inner child and can remember when we were little, we didn't care about what other people think about what we were doing. We did it because it made us happy.
True. So, the purpose-driven life. So you believe that authentically living your dash is really, really about finding your purpose? Is that what you're saying? I want to make it clear for the people.
Yep, absolutely. Finding your authentic purpose, because what may seem good for somebody else may not be good for you.
Mm-hmm. Have you found your purpose?
Oh, yes, honey. And we were doing it today in the park.
Oh, yeah, that was exciting.
I am most happiest when I'm able to be of service using my gifts as being a psychic medium, as being that coach, that mental motivator. It stimulates me, and it helps me grow in the same time as I am helping others, because we're truly supposed to be here to be of service to one another.
That's interesting. I love the thought. I love the thought. Because, when I think of authentically living my dash, I think of like just constantly honoring myself. Just living my dash is just all about honoring myself, going with what feels good, going with what inspires me, going with what makes me, want to just wake up every day and just hug the sun and just say, come on, let's get on down with today,
And so, when your vibration is that high, think of how much service you are being to others by just going out into the world and being positive.
Right. I pulled a card earlier while we were at the park. Actually, everybody, me and Goddess Isis was at the park along with Chakra Wanda, and we were on Periscope, and we were giving readings today. Yes,
please look on the broadcast for Periscope viewers. Look at the replay from earlier. It says Spirit Readings live at the lake, and you saw all three of us, both God Isis and Jamad, were providing the primary support through intuitive reading and not psychic mediumship, but that's what God Isis is. But they were doing spirit readings together. Very powerful experience.
Yeah, I love giving readings with people I'm starting to discover. So, but the reason why I brought that up is because I pulled a card today for someone, and the card said, the best gift you can give anyone is your happiness. So when I think of, being authentic, living your dash, being of service to someone, you have to really understand that the best gift you can give anyone is your own happiness. Because if you're not operating from a happy place, you really ain't got shit to give nobody anyway. Just
true. And if you're not happy, and your vibration is low, you just think about the law of attraction. That's what you're going to draw to yourself. Mm-hmm. So people have to think about, living your purpose, but finding what that purpose is and staying focused on it, because the universe picks up on our vibration. even before we think something, even before we speak that affirmation, you must feel it in the heart. That's why I say everything starts with the heart. It's almost simultaneous with the heart and the mind, but that vibration goes out before we do that spoken word. So you can say affirmations all day, but if you don't genuinely feel it in your heart as truth, which was another topic we had today, if you don't feel it as truth, well, guess what? That's what the universe picks up, and that's what the universe gives us.
And that's one thing, when I first started teaching the law of attraction in my own way, based off of what I learned from Abraham Hicks, I used to say God is responding not exactly to what we say, but he's responding to how we feel.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's one thing I will say about affirmations. At first, they may seem silly, but if you keep going with it, those affirmations start to really get down into your DNA and really get down into how you feel and get down into who you are. Because I remember the first affirmation I was given was, it was given to me by Sweta Ayer. And it was, I am love and I love myself. And I said that so many times to where I started really kind of feeling that thing. So,
And that's the thing, because if we keep saying them and it becomes a daily practice, then it trains our brain. Mm-hmm. And so we change that thought pattern, and you really become aware of it and start feeling it. So that's the right way to go. Like we were saying earlier today about doing your work. It has to be an ongoing process. You can't just think that you can say an affirmation 1 or 2 times or for a week or for 30 days and then everything is just automatically changed. You don't just shift like that.
Yeah, everything is a practice.
Yeah. And I can give a tip for people. I always tell my clients, post it up in your bathroom mirror, because you're alone there. You're in the morning time. It's the first thing you want to do and set your intention, and it's the last thing at night. Because like with my Reiki principles, even though I know them by heart, I have them posted in my bathroom mirror, and everything it starts just for today. Just take one little bite of that elephant at a time. Don't try to change everything all at once.
Yeah, God Isis on Periscope, Leo Lioness said she was thinking about doing that very thing.
Yes, I just thought I was going to respond to her. And it's a good practice, because you have to set your vibration and your intention. A lot of people get up and they turn on the news, and unfortunately all you hear is negative on the news. So get up in the morning, listen to some positive music, dance, say your prayers, sit in a little minute of meditation. It doesn't have to be a long meditation, but make sure when you're waking up, you're giving thanks and putting yourself in that attitude of gratitude.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing with that goes along with that, though, that's most important, is our energy as well within our physical, energetic body being in alignment for that, a foundation for that affirmation to really be magnetic.
Natasha said something on Scope, and I was hoping she would type it in over here with us. But I believe she said affirmations plant seeds within us that helps move us forward. She said something like that. Hold on, Natasha, if you're with us, can you just bring that up for us? Your mic is high.
Then. And Paula was saying also 10 minutes before sleep. Thank you, Paula. Natasha.
Oh, goodness gracious.
What you do?
I thought I was unmuting Natasha. Well, making
you muted me. I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Unmuting Natasha. Well, making Natasha. Natasha, you're gonna have to turn down that Periscope.
Right. Cause he got feedback. Let us know when you're ready.
Okay.
Ready?
We got you.
Hey, lady.
Oh, I was just commenting, saying that affirmations plant seeds in your soul that propel you into forward action.
Yes.
Don't that sound good? Quote that from Natasha Lee.
Yeah. But I was also pointing out, and I'm being made aware of this reminder myself, it's also important for us, our energetic essence, to be good soil. In other words, to take care of your energy as far as your chakra system, as far as you being an energy being, let that soil be clear, that energy to be clear, so that those affirmations have a way of magnetizing, or isn't that right, Natasha?
Yes, definitely. That's what I do. I teach energy restoration and management. Is really about, we talked about this, Jamad and Chakra, last time. It's not your time that's your highest commodity. It's really your energy. And so, like,
that's true.
Yeah, because you can't do the things that God's called you to do if you have time and no energy.
I'm picking up what you put down. So, Natasha, you're joining us. So, how do you feel? What do you feel is authentically living your dash? What does that feel like? What does that look like? Tell the people of the world.
Well, for me, thank you, guys. God, I was just in listening mode. Living in your truth, honoring yourself for whatever that is. I mean, if you are attracted to something and you love that thing, honor that thing and just live in your truth. Don't try to sugarcoat yourself to please other people. Just do you. And when you're doing you at an authentic level, being true to you, then that's it. That's what living your dash is really all about. Just honoring yourself.
Well, I like that. So according to Natasha, I'm living my dash, honey. She just took the words right out of my life.
Yes.
But to me, that's the only way to get to empowerment. It's by really living like that.
Yeah, and that's why that's why what you guys are doing is just so powerful, and it's helping so many people. And Wanda, you quietly, or not so quietly, just touch, move, and inspire folks to get them to another level. And you too, Jamad. That's why I vibe with both of you guys. I don't know the guests too well, but you guys are amazing, and that's why I hope that more people will just hook up and join arms with you guys, because you guys are doing some powerful stuff. Y'all are movers and shakers, and you help other people. You have a genuine heart for helping other people get lined up to do the thing that they're called to do. So that's just awesome.
I like when people, kind of boost us up like that. Goddess Isis, she's really just a part of the tribe because she's magnificent.
Thank you.
I got to spend the last couple of days with her, and I was just in awe. If y'all catch those periscopes of Goddess Isis, it's spelled GOD_S_ISIS, and you will see the honest, true power that she has through her gifts. So,
and thank you, Jamad. I'm just always, honored, and I stay humble. And I think that's a big part of it too, and understanding that this is my divine work, but it's not really about me. I'm a vessel that God is using, and I honor that. And I'm so honored to be blessed with the gifts to be able to touch people.
That is beautiful. So, moving along, Chakra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chakra is distracted.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be interactive with the
She's
people.
just distracted.
So we're
I learned
talking
something
about
new today. I know next time.
And sometimes, you don't be here, but I'll be with you.
That's what I said.
I'll be on with you.
I was just like, I see now.
Oh,
now in person.
Jamad wanted to be having the pad, the tablet, the computer, the phone, everything going.
Okay, well, I'm present right
There's
here.
the people on iTunes and Google Play, and they're waiting on you, Chakra.
So I am here just to remind you, you are watching the Empowered Possibilities broadcast/podcast with Chakra Wanda, International Angelic Spiritual Encourager, along with
Jamad Kelly, the Empowerment Coach.
And our topic is, get together, living.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Just say it. I was reading something. All right. This periscope is the distraction. It's the lost.
living your dash. That's what we're talking about, right? You don't have to apologize. I can handle this. I like the dual thing. So if you,
I saw True Beauty Coach had a question.
Oh, okay.
No, it was a great thing. True Beauty, you're still hot. Bring that up over here. Like, don't type in.
She wants to know how, if you're not living your dash passionately, how do you do it? And the first thing is getting in touch with your true self. You have to know who you are. And that's some soul work.
That is the first step, because you're not really going to make any changes. You're not going to move forward until like you start right where you are. But you have to begin to appreciate where you are.
Yeah, and have no regrets about where you are, how you got there. It's okay. You're here in the present, and let's start now. Because
at the end of the day, I really honestly feel whether people say it's true or if they deny it, we all have those little thoughts at night that pull on us and say, we should be this and we should be that.
Right.
This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. I want to act. I want to be in movies. I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to clean my car, anything. It's just, people have those little thoughts, and it's just like, you got to go with what inspires you and what feels good.
Yeah, the other thing is the things that help you to live your dash. Most of the most important things that help you live your dash. See, the whole philosophy. I can't even get it out because I'm starting to get information downloaded to me just to speak about. I still have that garden analogy, and so what's happening now. What I'm going to speak is this: living your dash is like digging deep. Like some of the ways that you live your dash are not going to be ways that feel good. There's some stuff that is important for you to go through, to experience, to live, and to you're just going to have to go through it. It's got to be a part of the dash. You got to experience it. You got to embrace it. Then you got to let it go. You got to flip it up and down. Roll it, flip it, turn it around. I mean,
sometimes it's not fine.
Yeah, but it's a part of
look, Wanda, you got to till that soil, honey, right?
Till the soil, and this ain't gonna feel good. It ain't gonna look good sometimes, but then
you keep on going.
You keep going, and you can't beat yourself up. You can't slide backwards.
And like Natasha was saying, the affirmations, like they plant the seed, but we can't forget that you got to nurture that seed. You can't just like stick it in the ground and think, oh, magically, it's not the magic garden. It's not just going to pop up and have this beautiful plant or tree or whatever, you're desiring to grow. There's still some work that has to be done to that seed.
I was just going to say, because each seed you plant is going to be nurtured differently. So you really have to go with your intuition and know how to nurture certain things in your life garden.
And that's a whole nother thing too,
I'm just gonna say it's going to be a deep discussion.
Right, and people, we're saying, to people, trusting your intuition and going with your intuition. Is everybody able to recognize what is their intuition?
Well, go and tell them so they can live their dash a little bit better. Tell them about the intuition, Goddess Isis.
Well, it's about just learning to listen to yourself, and you have to become aware of it. And it's almost like a testing thing. You receive something, and you have to pray on it sometimes. Sometimes you have to sit and wait. But seeing it validated allows you to, because I think that's why people get blocked in fear of moving, because they don't know how to trust their intuition. But it just becomes a practice of learning to listen to yourself and listen to that soul part.
And that's what I was just going to say, because it's just like my intuition. I've been really a flowing person all my life. So I really, really govern myself by going with that gut feeling, because I know what the hell it feels like to not go with the gut feeling. And those weren't good times. So I know the better times that I had when I went with my gut. And it's just like, and sometimes going with your gut may feel a little off. Like, why the hell am I doing this? Like, why the hell did I stay in Charlotte an extra day? You know, and this wouldn't have been possible. We wouldn't be doing this podcast tonight if I would have got my little ass on the road. So it's just like, it's about going with those gut feelings to get that good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that happened earlier this week too.
All the time. It happens all the time because I always go with that gut feeling. And it's just like, a lot of times we can't see our way. But if you just keep going, because, you know, the universe, God, the angels, however you want to see it, it's always 2 steps ahead of you. And that's one thing I learned on this week. They are always 2 steps ahead of you. So you may not see your way, but a way is being made.
Oh, my God. Aren't you speaking? You're just reminding. You know what? Even with us as answering our call to step up as teachers, as each of us are. Actually, everyone is a teacher and a student in every single moment. Here's what you have to know. Even if you're not directly engaged with people, someone is learning from you.
All the time.
I mean, you could be.
Exactly.
I learned this. Put one hand on your heart and one on your gut. Ask, feel, receive your answer. Exactly.
That's what your beauty coach said. Put one hand on your heart and one on your gut. Ask, feel, and receive your answer.
I remember back when I worked in corporate days, it dawned on me that we are all each teachers and students in every single moment. I had a coworker that revealed to me after working around me for about 6 months, some things to me that made me aware that we were teaching, that, you know, I didn't have direct interaction with him, but he shared some observations, and it wasn't about work either. So I realized then we each are teachers, and also, well, this is where the humbleness of being willing to be led by spirit, to willing to live deep in your dash. And that is that everything is a lesson. Everything is a blessing. If you can take that as a medicine every day, you know, as something that's nurturing for you, that everything, there's a blessing in it and a lesson in it.
Yeah, and people have to learn what the lesson is, get it, learn it, and move on. Because Jamad, remember what we were talking about this earlier?
About that. That was just like,
how do you move on?
It's like,
and
it ain't the moving on part. If you don't,
they wonder why things keep reoccurring in their life. Is because you're not getting a lesson. So now you got to sit back and reevaluate. Okay, let me look at this situation a little closer and a little deeper, because it keeps showing up in my life. That means we ain't getting it.
Ain't that it? Because I feel like I'm going through a lesson all over again. I'm like, Lord, what do I need to be aware of? Because I need to learn this shit and just keep and move on. Because I don't want to keep going through this one.
And you know what I call that? A spiritual spanking.
Okay.
A spiritual spanking, because when we don't get it, the universe will just keep on giving it to us, and we just make it harder and harder on ourselves.
And I know, and it feels real kind of. It's going to be a little tougher this time.
I don't speak that into existence, Jamad.
I don't know.
You do know. Don't speak it into existence. Change that word phrase.
Okay, it's going to be easier this time.
Yes. Say, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it this time. I'm going to pass the test.
I don't want to go through this shit no more.
Well, that's what part of you says. See, I believe we have multiple parts of it, just like we have, you know, the 7 chakras.
You brought that up today. I thought that was interesting. I never heard you say that before.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to talk about anything that might seem weird to anybody, but we do.
It made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, we have different levels of us. Here's one thing I know for sure. If look at the chakra. I mean, we have different. We are one aspect, but we have different layers. If you think about the chakra, and you think about our auric system, right? That's all a part of us.
Yeah.
If my heart is saying if my mind or my thoughts or my vision, or saying, I see myself in this way, but the heart is vibrating something else. Like all aspects may not be in agreement. Maybe there's a decision that you have to make with regard to disconnecting, for example, in a relationship. You have to disconnect because it's all layers of you are not in agreement or not in harmony. So you have to make harmony. You have to make a decision because some parts of you are in a suffering status, whatever. You have to be in agreement with all levels of who you are. Make a dream book that keeps your wish for growth visible and visible.
Better yet, make you a vision board.
Yeah.
Put the things in pictures and in words somewhere where you see it every day, and remind yourself. A vision board is a good visual affirmation project to do.
I mean, there are all these different tools that resonate in so many different ways. Like me, myself, I have a mood board.
Okay.
Just based on how I want to feel. Not necessarily, different visions and things. So everybody has many, many, many tools. So I'm glad Natasha brought up that question. Natasha.
Yeah, Paula says use as many senses as possible.
Yes.
Yes. So I wanted to turn that question to you. If someone's not passionate about living their dash, what should be their first step?
Their first step should be to contact Chakra Wanda and Jamad Kelly and God Isis to get a consultation so that you guys can help them visioning plan, help get them a plan together.
Money, Natasha.
Yeah,
money.
And I think learning how to love yourself, because if you are not living your authentic self or living, a passionate, purposeful life, then what are you looking at as your self-worth? Because a lot of people say, oh, I'm not worth that, or I'm not worthy of it. Yeah, you are.
That up. You hit on it. You hit on.
So many people are just living life on autopilot and not really doing what's passionate to them. They're doing what their parents told them to go to school, get that job,
they're just existing.
Right. They're just like robots on autopilot. And so just to really sit with yourself and tune into what you're resonating with at a heart level, that's the thing. You have to just fully be engaged in you. And like she said, love you and start there as a foundation. But it's really just about honoring yourself and being true to you. Whatever that looks like, unapologetically, just whatever it looks like for you, that's what you do. Let that lead you, not be worried about what people are going to think or if it's politically correct or if it's the right thing to do. Just do you.
Yeah, and adding to that too, Natasha, like one of the hardest things you have to do is to learn to be able to sit with self. Because one thing we can't do, you can lie to other people, but you really can't lie to yourself.
People try.
I always say, wherever you go, that's where you're going to be. You can't run from yourself. So it's good to just get to know yourself.
That's right.
And it's good to fall in love with yourself because you got to be with yourself for the rest of your life. And so if you don't get to love yourself, and it's going to be a hard way to go.
That's something, when you talk about being in love with yourself, that's something that
we discussed in the last broadcast, in the last podcast.
Here's what we all have to know is that divine communication is happening all the time through us, as us. And so I've been doing a work. First of all, I have a private angelic support group, which is following the book called Hiring the Heavens. And the concept is to embrace the idea and understanding that you have divine assistance, that the creator, the source, provider, or the creator of all and everything that we are and have in the universe, provides us with help through the angelic realm. And the book is called Hiring the Heavens. And the people in our private group, if you want to learn more about it, go to the bio here on Periscope, or you can go to bit.ly/shift WC, and it'll get you into knocking on the door to getting into the private group. So I created a committee, and I created an angelic team to help me in the area of love relationship. And hi, Marion, as I have been taking that walk or working with my committees as they've been working with me, as the Holy Spirit has been overseeing this whole process, it dawned on me, now you're supposed to set up mission statements for your committees to go to work for you. I like to use guided meditation. I record guided meditations all the time, so I created a guided meditation, 2 of them, to help me envision and embody the experience of meeting with my committees. And as I have been spending time with my love relationship committees, they made me aware that there must be some additional work to be done before moving into the creation of my mission statement for bringing love, or the way I want to experience it in my life. And so some questioning started to evolve from that, which I shared. Well, we actually began to discuss it together. And you talk about me, look at you. Discuss it together when with a person that was a client of mine, who's a hair client, but also follows me on broadcast, on Periscope. Anyway, the first question was, what would it be like? Now you get this here. Take a deep breath, y'all. Just take this in for a minute. All right? Now listen to what I'm going to say. What would it be like and feel like if you were in love with yourself? What I mean is, can you imagine that there's actually 2 of you, right? And you're out in the public, and maybe Jamad, is with my other self and introduces me to me, right? What would that be like? How would that other me approach me, treat me, care for me,
What
right?
would being in love with yourself feel like?
And then you write down all the answers to that. How would it feel? How would it look like? How would they pursue me? How would they treat me? Now see, we know how we would treat someone else. You're already within yourself knowing how you would feel about someone else. And not everybody spends time to think about, like God has talked about earlier, of, loving yourself and the worthiness. That's a work in itself. I'm sitting here thinking, I think I might want to do some work myself for the next 30 days. And we've seen this happen where you are doing affirmative prayer or affirmations, prayers, or visioning work in a particular theme each day that has to do with loving yourself into that, feeling state. But when you answer all those questions, what is it to be in love with you? And then you ask those questions when you're faced with someone that walks into your life or with the present relationship you're in. Is it a high no's or high yeses or 50-50? Well, there's some question if it's kind of 50-50 or high no's, right? Then you say, well, why don't I commit to myself and love myself enough to have some, higher percentage of yes, that I have this going on. I have this going on. So that's when working with my angelic committees, they made me aware that I needed to allow myself to have work in that area and ask questions, and I was able to make some decisions about a connection that I had. Yeah.
But my thing is, when it comes to that system of questions, I think that system of questions should be first asked eternally, based on who you are. And it's just like when you get to the last question, and the last question is, does this person fit what you're wanting? Like, are you being who you really want? Are you being that person that you really want to fall in love with? I think that's really, really good. But earlier we had brought up something, and I believe either Natasha or Goddess Isis said it, and I do want to say y'all do sound quite similar on the chat. on the line. But
they do, don't
they? They do. I was like, you know, y'all have to make sure people know who's actually talking. But we're still talking about living your dash. So one of y'all brought up the word worthiness.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of people come short because they don't feel that they're worthy. And I don't understand. Like, people don't feel like they're worthy of living their dash. They don't feel worthy of someone else's love. They don't feel worthy of getting that promotion at work. They don't feel worthy of just really living their life, which really holds them back in so many ways. So it's just like, how do we get them into that feeling of just worthiness? Like, I don't.
Because the first, this is Goddess Isis, Jamad.
I know.
Okay. First, we have to define what it is that we're searching for. Like Chakra Wanda is speaking about love. Ask yourself, how do you define love? You know, personally, what is it for you? You know, not what people tell you it should be, but what resonates with you when you think of a certain aspect that, you know, you're going after. And the worthiness, it's kind of, you have to let go of maybe how you were raised, what you were taught. You know, a lot of us, and we're not pointing the finger at, you know, the parents or anything like that, because you want to believe they did the best that they could do with what they had and the knowledge that they had. So it's kind of trying to go back and erase when you review what you've been taught, because that may not personally resonate with you now, where you are spiritually.
Absolutely.
Good.
I'm looking at you. I'm listening to it.
I'm telling you, Chakra's giving me a hard time tonight. First time in person, doing the podcast, and I'm getting a hard time. But no, so it's just when it really comes to that worthiness, and that's what I really got to a point in my life where I was just like, I have to trust life. If I'm going to get to where I'm going and do all that I need to do. And can you say that again, Natasha? But I'm telling you, Natasha, if you type it in on Zoom, I know I'll see it. But when it came to worthiness and, you know, living life, I was just like, it was really about trusting life. And my definition of trust is knowing that I'm worthy of all the good that can come to me. So that's why I'm able to drive 10 to 12 hours to just go and hang with complete strangers for a whole weekend, you know? So it was just like, it's just like I trust life because I know that I'm worthy of all the good things that can come to me. And that's the kind of vibration I want to submit all day long. Natasha says that's all a part of the growth revolution. The growth revolution. Natasha, your mic is hot. What is the growth revolution, honey? That's new to me.
Well, everybody's on a mission right now to get to that place, especially spiritually. Right now, I'm having so many different conversations with all kind of folks, and just people are just on a mission to get to know who they are really at a core level, and everybody's on this path of growth. They are trying to do the thing, and they are trying to live life passionately and really live their dash. So that there's meaning, so that they can leave legacy. And so that's what I'm talking about the growth revolution. It's happening right now. And there's not many people that I know of right now, especially in my personal camps and communities, that are in this stagnant place, because people are so ready for forward movement, and so ready for growth, and so ready to realize that in their own lives that folks are going to work.
Yeah, well, too, though, most of that is what we are aware of happening around us, because we've changed our antenna to wanting, or first of all, being aware that there is more that we need to be tuned into for just, you know, rising up to that next level of our expansion as human, as spiritual beings, having a human experience. So then we magnetize and bring around us those that are like-minded. You start to see that more and more, although we still live in a world where not everybody's waking up. That's what I realized. Not everybody's waking up to.
A lot of people ain't waking up.
Even in your family or your friends, you recognize that, what you're speaking about and the language, what we start to have, and the communication and the sensitivity, the sense of being and sense of presence, allowing yourself to, use all of your spiritual tools. People when you start to transition into that, they may look at you and strange and say, well, what's wrong with you? Or what's wrong? And it's nothing really wrong.
Right. But people may not be in a space where they really recognize it, but folks know there's something going on.
Yeah,
they know something is going on. There's a different, it's different. Folks are awakening around other folks. And so if they're not on board to this awakening, then they're definitely recognizing, hey, there's something going on, right? So more people are tuning into what's up for them, what is their real truth. And so that's really what's happening right now. Everybody may not be on the path, but they recognize that there's something going on.
There's something going on.
So just to recap for anyone new coming in, this is
the Periscope.
On the Periscope, yes. This is Chakra Wanda, International Angelic Spiritual Encourager, with
Jamad Kelly, the Empowerment Coach.
And we are here. This is a unique scenario where we're broadcasting on Periscope while you listen to us post our podcast called The Empowerment Possibilities Podcast, which can be found to register on Facebook. So, yeah, and the topic tonight is living your dash. Did we want to ask if anybody else had something? Well, we have here on the podcast, you're able to get in on podcast. I posted a number, or either bit.ly if you'd like to chime in on the conversation. bit.ly/TEPP Sunday.
Which I thought would have been a little odd if we did it yesterday on Saturday, wouldn't it? Because it would have been TEPP Sunday, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So everything falls into place, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been really, really enjoying this conversation about authentically living your dash. And I feel like we need to touch into something, because I think there's somebody that's still having a hard time living their dash, and we may not have reached them the way they need to be reached. Goddess Isis, do you have something on a deeper level that'll help somebody really, really gain into living their dash?
Well, it's kind of going to be repetitive, but sometimes things need to be repetitive, but I'll add a little bit more to it. Everything starts with self, and to know yourself. I want to pose this question, and it's homework for everybody that may be having that issue. Ask yourself, who do you believe you are? Who do you believe you are? And in that, I mean, look at yourself as you are right now in this present moment, and review what's your job title? What have people told you you should be? What have people said, you are? And go through, make this list, and ask yourself, am I that? Do I truly resonate with that? Or is that just something I'm accepting to just be comfortable or to make someone else comfortable? But it first has to start with self and believing and having faith in who you truly are. So ask yourself, make that some homework. Who do you believe you are? Because we are not what people have told us. We are not our parents. We're not our grandparents. We're not the job maybe that we're particularly in if you're not happy. It's so much more, but only we can answer it for ourselves.
Right. And when it comes to really, I have a thing where I do this. And actually, me and Chakra Wanda are doing a workshop for our next broadcast. So we will be allowing everybody to sign up for, because, I'm noticing that we are doing different things each episode for this podcast. So the next episode for the podcast, we'll be recording live, and we will be doing a live workshop. And it's called the Design Your Life Workshop, brought to you by the Empowered Possibilities Podcast. And I'm going to do my life. Lord, I forgot. We're going to go through life visioning and life tuning.
Right.
And Sharp is going to provide the life visioning, and I'm going to provide the life tuning, where I will ask a series of questions that will help you really understand where you are right now. And I think that would be really great if people could really understand who they are and where they are, because I think that really goes deeper into living your dash, really understanding all of that, as Goddess Isis explained. Chakra?
Yes. You talk about the workshop, yeah. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited about it, for real. And we're still doing it at 7 p.m. next Sunday. Right?
7 p.m. next Sunday.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Y'all, Chakra has been running 3 devices. I mean, she's been doing everything. And this is probably the least you've heard Chakra on our broadcast.
Well, we have a guest too, so it's okay. Keep it rolling.
Because
somebody's got something on the chat. Let's roll with that.
Natasha said, "This is too funny," is what she said.
Well, each time we're learning what's working and what's not. So it's still a great topic. I can multitask. We good. The audience, does anybody have a question on the broadcast for Periscope? Just one question about this topic, living your dash, right? We've gone through how, people are living their dash.
We went through a lot.
Yeah.
Did we go through how?
Recognizing what is yours and what is someone else's effect in your life. Yeah. And navigating your dash with that. Sometimes somebody else's agenda overshadows what you're supposed to be doing, trying to...
People have an agenda for you.
Yeah.
People want you to fit on their agendas. You said a word, Chakra.
Uh-huh. Do we have anything else?
But yes. This has been awesome. This has been a great broadcast. But I think Chakra brought up something. She said the how to live your dash. I think we missed that.
Yeah, how to live your dash. Oh, wow.
So, I think we did kind of touch on it when we were talking about, being your authentic self, going with what inspires you. But living your dash for me, what that looks like me waking up every day and me doing whatever the hell it is I want to do. And I live that pretty well. And I live that really, really well.
Yeah, for me, living my dash is staying in that idea of shifting, asking myself, am I living the highest possibility for whatever the situation is in that moment? Now, do I get it right with every scenario that comes up? No. But, I've learned how to shift more quickly when certain things come up. I might shift back and forth a little bit, but the practice of shifting my perspective of how I'm viewing a situation, how I'm feeling about it, I'm able to talk about it and be transparent, and then it helps me to move into that better possibility.
Which I think you brought up something that made me think about something that we've been talking about. I think that one of the best tools to live your dash is to always be present. Stay in the present moment. There's so much clarity in the present moment. Stop looking so far ahead. Stop looking so far behind you. Stay in the present moment, because you will know what to do to live your dash to the fullest.
That is so true. And that, that I have to think about whether I do that. I think I tend to operate more in the future. Through vision, though, what happens is I see a lot, So I'm thinking, yeah, it's deciphering the two, being pulled by vision, but also learning to stay comfortably in present when certain things come up. As teachers, as students, it never ends,
Yeah,
right?
it never ends. Goddess Isis?
Yes.
I was making you still there, honey. You had got quiet. Want to
I'm
chime
listening.
in?
Hello?
Yeah, she's listening.
I said, you want to chime in?
For me, it's living really just through my heart space. And I just kind of live by that golden rule too. I stop and think. I treat people how I would want to be treated. Now, the conflict comes in and where you got to stay in harmony is when people don't treat you the same way. But I can't be responsible for them. I have to stay in a mindset of I have to hold an account for what I do. So I can't be responsible for what everybody else does. So, I mean, if somebody does me wrong, all right, well, oh well. I keep moving. I don't give them no second chances to do me wrong either. But, I mean, I operate from a heart space. I don't worry about what people are going to thinking I'm weak or, oh, I'm too forgiving or, I'm just too of a pushover or whatever. You put it out there, and what you put out there comes back to you. And I just try to stay in that mindset. I can't worry about what other people are doing. They're building their own karma. But I'm more aware that I'm building my karma.
I like that. People are building their own karma, but I'm more aware that I'm building my own karma. Natasha said, you're in your head when you live in the future. When you live in the now, you're living from a heart space.
Right.
And that's where I'm trying to always, because that's why I make my decision. I try not to look too far off ahead, because if I look too far off ahead, I'm going to mess up everything going on. If I just focus on what's happening right now, I'm not trying to get too far in my future and focus on that. I'm trying to focus on everything that's going on day to day, moment by moment.
Right. And even if something does go wrong, try to find the gratitude.
The highest possibility.
Be great, right? Be grateful for something in that. I mean, we have to. Like one of the Reiki principles, we have 5 major principles that we say in the morning and at night, and like I said, each of them start with just for today.
Yeah, just for.
So that means being in the present, staying in the present, and just for today. Let go of worry. And what's another word for worry? Let go of fear. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will be grateful for all my many blessings. And I think, as we practice that and make it a daily habit, if you forget it along the way during the day, reground yourself, regroup with yourself, and just get back on track.
Just for today. You familiar with those principles?
No, I haven't studied Reiki.
But the principles are still. You weren't familiar with the principles.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I missed that. I'm going to have to go look back at that.
Powerful.
Yeah, I have to send it to you, Jamont. Maybe I'll scope on that. We'll do some practice with it.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. So, all right, y'all, we are entering our hour, and we said we was doing this one just for a cute hour, a cute birthday powwow. Happy birthday to Chakra Wanda.
Yes, happy birthday again, boo.
Thank you, and belated birthday to you too. You are set.
Thank you.
Everybody's living their dash, and I love it. So, let's kind of close this bad boy out. So, and Natasha says happy birthday. So let's close this out on something cute that Oprah does. So, I'm gonna make Natasha as well once she kind of turn that periscope down. But I want to end today on, let's just tell the people what we know for sure. That was Oprah's big thing. What I know for sure. So let's go ahead and let the people know what we know for sure. Goddess Isis, what do you know for sure?
I know for sure that I am love, and each one of you are love, and everything is going to work out in its divine time and its divine purpose.
I love that. Natasha Lee, the True Beauty Coach.
What I know for sure is that you're ready to meet your future self right now. Start living in the now.
Oh, right. You ready to meet your future self right now. I like that. Chakra.
What I know for sure is that I'm okay. I'm okay from day to day. And every experience is a delicious seed that moves me into the very most opulent experience. That's it. I'm okay. Just for today.
And what I know for sure is Jamar Kelly is the world's greatest. No, I'm joking. What I know for sure is we all have special gifts and special talents, and we need to start moving to really birthing those babies, as Chakra says, our ideas. We really need to move into really developing those gifts, because I started this year with just a hunger to just be my best me. And I met so many amazing people. So I learned so many amazing things that really brought out this person that I guess I didn't even know was in there, but actually I knew was in here all along. So just for today, I know for sure that I am my best me.
Yolanda on Periscope just brought up, there's a song called Just for Today by George. We have to look at the replay, but there's a song called Just for Today. George Hamilton?
Somebody, I missed it. Wait, you can do one of these and just scroll back. George Harrison.
Oh my gosh, George Harrison. I didn't even know. He just showed me a new feature.
It's an old feature, Chakra.
Oh my God. You could bring up, and what did you do?
You just click the comment, then you can scroll through them to see what people say.
Like this, I can click this comment, but then I can just scroll back through comments. Yeah. Oh my God. And you don't even scope. How'd you know that?
I know everything. It's a gift, actually.
Y'all told me about the 3 dashes today, or the 3 dots, so.
Okay. Let's close this bad boy out. So
he can't wait to get off, because I've been over here
She's just been
scoping,
running around,
making notes, whatever.
So Goddess Isis, I do know it's a gift. I'm telling you, I know everything is a gift.
He knows a lot of stuff, y'all. He can get you on track with stuff. If you want to learn how to set up a podcast, he'll do that. If you got some stuff that you want to download or a lead page or whatever, he just be sitting on all the good stuff.
And people ask me how I read. That's how I read. So, Goddess Isis, tell the people how to get in touch with you, find you, because I know somebody somewhere right now, under the sound of my magnificent voice, wants to.
You can follow me on Periscope. Swipe up in the broadcast if you're in here, and it's at Goddess Isis, GOD_S_ISIS. On Facebook.
Are you on Goddess Isis? Let me interrupt. Are you logged on now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, put your emoji up so they can tap it right there for that piece. Please.
Okay.
Yeah. And that way they see the emoji. The live people can join you from that, as well as the replay viewers. There she is right there. Go ahead and hit it and join her from that. And then she has additional ways. Go ahead.
Facebook. I am on Facebook at Psychic Medium Goddess Isis, GOD_S_ISIS, or you can visit my webpage and find out more about me. There's a video there on my About page. Watch me do a live reading. And that is Psychic Medium Goddess Isis. GODSISIS, no underscores, .com.
All right, the psychic medium goddess.
God_S_Isis.
Well, I was saying the psychic medium goddess.
Yeah, I'm going to type it in, y'all.
So, Chakra, tell them how to reach you, honey.
Well, right here on Periscope, you can hit the bio and go to the website. For those that are listening on the podcast, my website is Chakra, CHAKRA, Wanda, WANDA, .weebly, WEEBLY.com. On Facebook, I have a healer page, Chakra Wanda, Angelic Healer. I also, like I said, I'm a facilitator and actually a nurturer of a private angelic support group. And I talked about that earlier in the broadcast, so I won't repeat myself, but you can reach me on the bio by clicking join for a free gift to start to knock on the door to the private group. Or you can go to bit.ly/shiftwc, and that will help you to get into requesting to be a member of the private angelic support group.
And if you want to follow me, Jamad Kelly, the empowerment coach, well, the empowerment intuitive, I like that too a little bit.
Empowerment intuitive
coach. So all you have to do is type in bit.ly/TEPP live, and you'll go to our page where you can find out more about me and Chakra Wanda and listen to our broadcast. You can get to my site there. You can get the Chakra site there. Because, it's that simple. Yes. bit.ly/TEPP live. And you can find out more about me. And I'd rather you go there to find out more about me. I want y'all just, scavenging the internet looking for me.
I got to correct that because I had TEEP.
Yes. Goddess Isis, you can talk to us on the podcast. Y'all just treating my podcast. Y'all love these Periscope people.
I just typed in on the Periscope, just remember, beloveds, be love.
All right. We can close out with that. Remember, beloveds, be loved.
Yes. So we are closing now out on this podcast, and I'm closing out with our love. And here is what we want you to leave with. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever you choose it to be. Thank you for joining us at the Empowered Possibilities podcast. And we are your hosts, Chakra Wanda, International Angelic Spiritual Encourager, and
Jamad Kelly, the Empowerment Intuitive Coach. I like that.
Right. Now we are always here to empower you to shift into your highest possibilities for every area of your life. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.